bop, 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 yeah. Let's go on it together. I did it, let's go on an adventure, bop, bop, shoot, bop, 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 yeah. Let's go on it forever. If you're feeling blue, nothing left to do, my love. And if you're feeling bored, I know you know the cure. You know the cure. Let's go on an adventure, bop, bop, shoot, bop, 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 yeah. Let's go on it forever. Let's go on an adventure, bop, bop, shoot, bop, 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 yeah. Let's go on it together. Let's go on an adventure.
Christopher, take me home to the pod I belong.
Massachusetts, chairs of music. I messed you up, but that's okay.
Good job, Christopher.
Yeah, musical chairs of Massachusetts. So that's what the name of our show is. I don't know why. When I'm under pressure, I just like, my brain's like, put this word here, that word there. No. But here we are. So, yeah, thank you for tuning in on another episode. I'm so excited that you're
Maybe
here.
they're not anymore because I was just singing.
Oh, come on. Come on. It's okay. Guys, we are excited. We just really am so happy with this season so far. We've had some incredible guests. You know, it's so cool. And, we're excited to bring you today's guest. But before we, divulge into that. Delude.
Deluge.
Delulu.
You're Delulu.
Delulu.
You're Delulu.
Yeah. Sorry. But let's let people know a little bit about what's going on in our lives.
All right, take it away.
Yeah. So, interesting things. So we've had a lot of funny things that have been happening around the studio lately.
Yeah.
Yeah, really weird things. Lights going off and turning back on. Cameras turning themselves off for like a brief second.
Or how about, we only had 2 cameras going, and then all of a sudden one of them just randomly appeared on my screen, but it was turned off and put into a case. But on my screen, it was pointing to a wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. The lights, more specifically, the light that's on you.
Just on me. Yeah.
Yeah. Has been like going off the charts.
It was crazy too because there's a touch sensor on the back of it, and which allows you to control the intensity and the color range. And Nikki has a little video of it just going blah, like the numbers were just flying all over the place.
From like 0 to 200.
Yeah, it was crazy. So it's fine. The next guest that we bring on the show will be a priest. He will
needs to exorcise this place.
Exorcise the demons. So yeah.
No, I feel like whatever's in this room with us is friendly. I don't feel anything dark or malicious or anything like that. I feel like
it's a prankster.
It's funny, but not funny. Is like I just lost my Nana not that long ago, and
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, you just lost your mom. Literally, like we lost somebody very important to us within 3 weeks of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Look at us trauma bonding over here.
I know,
but my Nana was a fucking menace.
Yeah, was she?
Yeah, like if none of this started happening until my Nana, your mom, passed away.
Yeah,
they're totally fucking with us. They are totally fucking with us. Like, look at that's your mom controlling. It's only your light.
Yeah, it's only on my light.
It's only your light. That's your mom controlling that, being like, hey, hello, hi, hello, still here.
Yeah.
And then like any other thing that I have to deal with, of course, like the random camera popping up and all that. That's my menace of a Nana.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're with us.
Yeah, Mom, it makes sense because Mom, if she had the opportunity, she would be with me everywhere. Mm-hmm. Even in private moments, like in the bathroom or something. I don't know. She was just like, she really loved her son.
I mean, she wiped your ass once upon a time. She's
she
probably still not afraid to do it now.
Yeah, hopefully not anymore. I'm okay now. But
I'm a big boy now.
I'm a big boy now. But yeah, so it's, I mean, if that's the case, then I love it,
Yeah, I'm happy that, like, if it is them and they're joining us here in the studio, like, my Nana knew how much, this podcast means to me, and she never would have had the means to ever make it to the studio to see what I do.
Yeah.
So I like to think that she's popping in and visiting, and now she finally gets a chance to see what I do and what makes me happy.
She's like, I'm taking control of this show.
I'm commandeering this ship whether you like it or not.
That's right.
I feel like I should write a song like Nana was a menace.
Nana was a menace.
Some type of like a bluegrassy, upbeat kind of country.
She never liked to play tennis. I don't know.
Nana was a beer drinking menace.
Yeah.
That's what she was.
Well,
she was drinking a Bud Light at 98 years old. I mean,
oh my gosh, she sounds like a hot
dude. She was a hot ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was. She was hot shit.
Nice. I can only hope to be that hot when I'm 90, in my 90s. But
I'll get you an electric blanket.
Oh yeah. Look at me, Sonny, I'm hot. Yeah, so guys, speaking of hotness, here's a segue.
Whoa, where are you going with this?
Here's a segue. But no, the music scene is definitely a hot one. It's hot. And I am thrilled for this next guest. He's been performing out here, both in a solo form and with a band and a couple of other ventures. And he's terrific. Excellent songwriter and music teacher. Guitar. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I might take some lessons.
There you go.
Thinking about it, yeah.
Yeah. So if if you guys need guitar lessons, but really, I'm excited. And it seems like with this season, the farther we get into it, the caliber of talent that's coming through is just being raised, and and it seems like the signatures on the polls are being raised.
They're just growing.
They are. You're
just gonna have to check out our Facebook and find out why.
Yeah. If you're following us on Facebook, you'll understand what we're talking about. But yeah, no. So I am excited, and I want to tell you, we've had some really good conversations with this guest, and so I'm excited to introduce him. But I mean, I won't introduce him.
That's my job.
That's your job, Nikki. Would you like to introduce him?
Yeah.
All right.
Here we go. Today we are joined by Alex Calabrese, the frontman of Boston-based indie folk band Old Tom and the Lookouts. Known for blending the introspective grit of Americana with the emotional rawness of indie rock, the band has captured hearts with their powerful storytelling and evocative lyrics. From their hauntingly beautiful album, Just for Beasts, to their bold new release, Northeastern, Old Tom and the Lookouts continue to evolve while staying true to their roots. Stay tuned as we dive into the creative process, the stories behind the music, and what's next for this rising band and artist. Welcome to the studio, Alex.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you for coming down. And
it's my pleasure.
Yeah, hanging out with us.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. And we've already had some off the camera cool conversations.
Yeah. We've been going.
Yeah, we've been going.
I'm caffeinated.
That's right. There we go. He's locked and loaded, folks. Thanks for coming down, and I'm really excited. We've already got to have a little sneak peek of some of your music, and already a fan. Excited. So let's get into it. We'll start off with a question, I think.
Yeah. How long have you been playing music and performing for?
So, when I grew up, my dad was a jazz drummer in the tri-state area around New York City, and I was exposed to a lot of music then, mostly like jazz. My dad was he was pretty deep in that scene. He was playing shows with like Al DeFino and some other local like Hudson Valley, New York City people.
Sure.
And that was really cool to just be exposed to it as a practice and to see that this, you know, while music as a career is extremely hard to sustain, you can follow a passion, and that was inspirational to me. So I remember telling my dad that I was interested in music when I was like, I don't know, probably 10 years old.
Yeah.
And he bought me my first guitar, which was a Les Paul Jr. Epiphone,
cool.
and I hated it.
Why?
Yeah.
Because it played like shit. It just played really bad, and I didn't identify with this instrument at all. And I didn't understand how important it was to really find the instrument that worked for you at that stage.
Yeah,
and
right.
the importance of having a guitar that you were excited about playing. So I sold that and I bought a Fender Stratocaster, this Mexican Strat.
Oh, okay.
For like, and I saved up for this too. So me and my dad split it. And I think that made it more valuable. And I remember I was writing a song, and because I was playing like 6 hours a day on this Strat. I just loved it.
Wow.
I was just like constantly playing on it, banging on it, making songs downstairs. They were terrible.
Yeah.
And my dad and mom are the most patient people in the world because they just listened to me howl downstairs while I was trying to write these crazy anti-government punk songs and on this Fender Mexican Stratocaster. And I was doing that, playing through this pig nose amp. And I was like, Dad, I got a song to show you.
Yeah.
And I showed him a song, and he was like, what's that mean? And I didn't know. I just had a bunch of cool words that sounded cool together and like things that sounded edgy. And like I was talking about playing cards and being, you know, a free spirit and shit like that. And I'm like 12 years old. My dad's like, what does any of this mean to you?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, then why are you writing about it? And I was like,
oh, yeah.
I don't know. And he was like, why don't you try writing about something that you know? And then that stuck to me. That was the worst review I've gotten to date.
Yeah.
And it was from my dad. And it wasn't even mean. And because he just asked me, he was just like, what are you writing about? Yeah. And that's such a valuable question to a songwriter because, like, we were talking about Bob Dylan earlier.
Yes, we were.
Bob Dylan doesn't know what he's writing about. Bob Dylan
sounds that way for sure.
Bob Dylan has a bunch of cool phrases that he came up with that sound like they are thought provoking, and he puts them with some pithy shit that sounds pontificating and intelligent, and it makes us all look into something that is we're looking at it in a like this deep way where it's like, what's he got? What's he hiding from us? What's he talking about?
He's just really stoned.
You know what? And I think it was just like he was just smoking and drinking a lot and coming up with really weird analogies of shit that just landed with people. And honestly, that's what most young songwriters do.
Yeah. And to everyone else, they're like, this is a lyrical genius.
And then when somebody else defines your song for you in a revelation, that's it. Like, so I just released Your Town. I just released a record, but I released this song, Your Town. And I thought I was just writing a song about leaving home with my friend Jesse. I thought you give it to these outlets, they'll come up with a fucking ton of things that this song is about. It's a love letter to the Northeast. It's about this disenfranchised person who's wandering through life trying to find a home, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, all right. All right. You're making my song out to be way more than it is, but I'll take it.
Right.
I'll take it. It is whatever it means to you.
Yeah.
And I think as a young songwriter, getting that first slam out early, where I actually had to think about lyrics and what I was writing and why, I just started to write instantly started to write more mature lyrics because I was being held accountable for writing dog shit.
Yeah.
And there are so few people out there that are willing to tell you what you're writing is stupid.
Yeah.
And like, or that it doesn't mean anything to them. Somebody's just like, it's not a bravery thing. It's not anything that anybody needs. It's not anything that anybody should be doing. We don't need people going out there telling people that their music is invalid or anything like that.
Right.
But it is so developmental to have somebody ask you why you're doing what you're doing and what that means to you. And for you to understand that, for you, your art can come from a place that is significantly more. And that's huge. That was such a, I was 12. So like,
seriously,
those songs that I was writing at 12, 13, 14, and 15 were still dog shit.
Yeah.
They were not good songs, but they had a direction that everything before then didn't have. And whether it was about being angry that George Bush was president and writing a punk rock song about that, or being angry that I had to be a lifeguard to make money as a kid.
Sure.
And I didn't like my boss. That's just a lie. I actually loved my boss. She was great. Janet Carey was the shit. But I just wrote songs about everything, but with meaning then, with intention. I learned about what it was like to write intention from my dad. And he's not even a songwriter. He's just a fucking drummer.
Yeah. Oh.
Who was just trying to just impart some wisdom on me.
I was about to say, like, what terrific advice, to give to a young, aspiring musician. Like, not many people get that kind of advice.
Not even posed as advice either, just like questions.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a question that anybody could pose. Like, oh, wow, cool song. What's it about?
Oh, no, he didn't say it was a cool song.
No, but I mean,
it wasn't a cool song.
But still, that's a question that anybody could ask you. Oh, what did you write that about? What's that about? Just
it's
thinking, thought provoking in general, and then that's makes you think. What is this about?
I know it's. I still subscribe to the Paul Simon method of writing, where you just come up with a hook or a phrase that you like, and you just jot it down.
Yeah.
You might sit on that for a couple months, or you just have it like written on a board somewhere in your studio where you're just like, I'll find a home for that someday.
Yeah.
That'll inspire something. And it often does. And if you let it, and if you give it time and the energy it deserves. But sometimes those things can sit there for a year or two. But it's always, songs come from very, very different places. And like I said, using the Paul Simon method, where you just come up with like a cool, anxious little verse, and you're like, how do I make another song fit around this? Or you come up with two very separate, cool little verses, and you find a way to shoehorn them together, and then you get some super complex, theory between the two.
That's
and
awesome.
I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of different ways to make music, man. And I don't subscribe to any specific one religiously. I think that you can use a lot of different ones. Like, it just varies. I think just coming at it from a humble point of view, and knowing that what you create isn't necessarily going to be a hit.
Yeah. And
that it could be a hit to somebody, but maybe not other people.
Right.
And at the end of the day, none of it matters anyways.
No. And you have prime examples out there of people who aren't established in the music industry who will write a song, and then all of a sudden 50 million people are like, wow, I can really relate to that song.
Zach Bryan.
Yeah.
He's my favorite.
Zach Bryan.
Yeah.
That dude wrote the right song at the right time.
Yeah.
He's a good songwriter.
Yeah.
He has a really good band, but there's nothing spectacular about Zach Bryan.
No.
That's what draws people in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
There's
nothing flashy about him. There's no.
Yeah.
Like, that is, I I don't know. I think to a lot of people that could be inspirational. I think that's like, everybody needs an everyman, you know?
I mean, look at when he posts on like his Instagram and stuff, and he goes home to Oklahoma. It's literally like a trailer in Oklahoma. Like there's nothing flashy and special, and he just hangs out with his family and his animals and sings and plays guitar in a barn.
Yeah,
he is worth $15 million.
Yeah.
He can live in more than a trailer if he wants.
Oh, sure.
And not be flashy.
Right.
But he chooses his life. I don't admire or think negatively of him in any way. I think he did something for Americana music in the last 5 years that needed to be done for Americana music, and it was to write the right song at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And have like a people's person.
Right.
Like I don't know. There's stuff coming out about him now where he's a little less of a people's person than we thought.
Yeah.
But but
that breaks my heart a little bit. But
look, it doesn't excuse. Everybody goes through a lecherous phase in their life. Not that is an excusable thing at all.
But he's also got his fair share of mental health issues as well.
He does, but that's not an excuse.
No,
either.
it's not.
No.
It's just accountability is an important thing. I'll say that. And I think that he is and will be held accountable for doing what he is doing. And like NDAs are an ugly thing.
Yes, yes, they are.
But he did what he needed to do for the music scene at the right time.
Yeah.
And that has garnered him attention from Bruce Springsteen.
Oh,
and like Steve Miller and like all of the Americana greats are all looking at him like, hey, you're the new guy, by the way.
Yeah. And it just goes to show, like how you said, it's you just write the right lyrics at the right time, and you get the exposure, whether it's wanted or unwanted.
Yeah, I mean, he just released. He's got a show coming out MetLife Stadium in July, and he actually had to do 3 nights because it sold out so quickly. The first 2 nights sold out like within a couple of hours, and by the end of the tickets just went on sale yesterday.
Yeah,
all 3 nights already sold out.
Yeah, they're probably like $500 a pop.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah. Look, some people are doing really, really well. Some people aren't. He's somebody who's visibly successful.
Yes.
I don't know if he's doing well. I think it sounds like there's a lot of shit in his life that sounds terrible right now.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
That at any level of fame I would not want to deal with,
right.
or any money could reconcile. I don't think any of that feels good hearing about it. But he'll come out on the other side, and people will still love him, and he'll still be an influential songwriter, and hopefully, somebody else can take his place who isn't, prescribing NDAs to ex-lovers and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like the song he has with John Mayer. Hopefully he's deep on better days.
Yeah. The what I'm really impressed is the fact that you've done such an excellent job with your songwriting, and is this something that you've turned into a full-time career? That's awesome. And so when did that switch over happen? When did you decide to go into music full time?
So I moved to Boston in 2013, and I was doing music pretty much full time.
Okay.
When I moved here, I met the right people and picked up a lot of shows. I was doing some part-time work to supplement income, and I've had part-time jobs here and there to help hold up the ends while music is extremely seasonal in the Northeast.
Yeah,
It's a tough career, though. I'm not going to lie. Like,
right.
It's you find yourself dependent on a lot.
Yeah.
Support from others, family members, and stuff like that. I would not be anywhere where I am without the support from my family, and this is a career that's only been going since 2013 for me.
Right.
And I can say that I would not be where I am right now if it weren't for my partner Julia or my mom and dad and sister and brother.
Yeah.
Just the amount and just the, my aunts and uncles' contributions, financial or just lending your support when it's most needed, it's crucial.
It is the support group that you have, behind you especially when you're doing something, full time that you love, that you're not sure if it can sustain you, especially in the beginning, is huge. Just having that support.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you have that. Like,
yeah, I come to every situation knowing that I am somebody who is coming with an enormous amount of privilege.
Yeah.
And that I think that has been helpful.
Definitely.
In interacting with people, and when you do have to ask for help, or when you do need to ask of your fans or something like that, it's not like this crazy surprise. Like, you're a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There's no veneer.
Right.
Well, speaking of fans, should we give the fans a song?
Yeah, sure. You guys want to hear like one off the record or a brand new one?
Ooh. You know what? I'm gonna make a call. I'll say a brand new one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wrote this song up in New Hampshire with my friends TJ Swan and Isaiah Bennett. And
What's the name of the song?
I don't have a name for it yet.
Oh, okay, great.
That's like that new.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, we were just trying to write a song that kind of embodied not knowing what the outcome is with full knowledge of what the outcome is going to be the whole time.
Oh, that's cool.
And we thought we'd write a sad song. So this is a sad song about...
Oh, just another artist trying to make me cry.
I don't know if this one will make you cry. It's definitely something. I don't know. I like it. The boys like it. We'll probably integrate this into an Old Tom set sometime in the near future, but
nice.
We'll get this in here. I'll name it eventually.
Well, you heard it here first, folks.
Sister says you're coming home soon. It's been a while since you were here. It's awfully wild and overgrown, son. You've been gone since just last year. Mama's waiting with the kitchen lights on, begging for someone to come. TV glowing with the Justice white on. Maybe you'll never come home. Dad's out back with the radio up, just an overgrown bed and a pickup truck. Hell, that's all that's left. Fountain's broken in the front yard. Helen's kids are smoking now. You know this scene's just a headstone, only seen when settled out. Mom's waiting with the kitchen lights on, begging for someone to come. Justice white on. Maybe you'll never come home. Dad's out back with the radio up, just an overgrown bed and a pickup truck. kitchen lights on, begging for someone to come. TV glowing with the Justice light on. Maybe you'll never come home. Dad's out back with the radio up, just an overgrown kid with some dead end luck. Hell, that's all that's left.
Awesome.
Wow. You know, it hits hard. You know, in a way, my daughter's gotten to the point where she's left home. She's out in college.
Yeah.
And, that's kind of been an adjustment.
Yeah.
And you still leave the light on. You still, have her room there waiting for her, waiting for her to come back. But there's just so many different ways of interpreting that song. That's a great song, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I had some good collaborators on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Look up TJ Swan and Isaiah Bennett.
Okay.
They're awesome.
Sweet. Well.
So you've been doing this full time, you said, for a while now. What's one of the craziest things that you've ever encountered, like at a show or a gig before?
Say it's in Boston.
No. Craziest thing that I've ever encountered was in Muncie, Indiana.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a story.
There is a story there.
Okay.
I was in a different band at the time, and we were touring like 35,000 miles a year.
Wow.
Doing a lot of time on the road. It was tough. It was definitely very busy.
Yeah.
Very busy time just doing anything. We were planning all our own tours. Our drummer was making our merch. We basically cannibalized the whole process of being an indie band.
Wow.
And like had everything done in-house. And it was a really good situation. So we ended up doing a lot of miles with that band. But we got out into Muncie, and I'm not a big drinker. I don't usually drink.
Right.
I don't really experiment with a lot of drugs. I don't really fuck around with that stuff. It's kind of just I don't know. We played our show at this place in Muncie, and it was my night off from driving, so I didn't have to drive that night, and we didn't have a show the next day.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I'm gonna have a couple drinks.
Yeah.
And I sat down at the bar while the other band was playing, and I ordered a beer. And then this guy walked up to me, and I didn't know who he was at the time, but he was like, "What are you drinking?" And I was like, "I'm just drinking a beer." And he was like, "Would you like to upgrade that to a mezcal?"
Oh.
And I was like, "I've never had mezcal. I'll try that."
Sure.
So I tried it, and I liked it. And he was giving me this guy started feeding me like top shelf mezcal.
Ooh.
And like I was in a safe place. My bass player, who's like one of my close friends, was with me.
Yeah.
And like hanging out and stuff like that. So like I was just like totally cool with this. I was, feeling comfortable enough. And then I probably had about 3 or 4 of these mezcals. And it turns out that this guy who's talking to me is not only the owner of the club, but the owner of the place that we're staying at that night.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And he was like feeding me mezcal, and I was like, cool. This is an okay relationship so far.
Yeah.
And he was like, do you do blow? And I was like,
boy.
And I was like, no, I don't, but thank you.
Yeah.
And he was like, you will. And I was like,
Oh my God.
and I was
Okay.
like, what do you mean? And I was like, at that point, I was like, me and Kev were like, what is this dude doing? This is fucking weird. And we hang in there. I still keep drinking the mezcal.
Yeah.
He asked me about Coke again. And I was like, sorry, man, I don't do Coke.
Yeah.
And he's just like, okay, well, if you want to, just hit me up. And I was like,
Jesus.
okay,
Sounds
cool.
like a trap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was just like, I think that's probably what he thought we wanted.
Yeah.
Because we're an indie rock band out of Boston, and I think he just thought we were there for the party after the show.
Right.
We were just trying to be professional and not make fools out of ourselves.
Right.
But about 6 or 7 mezcals later, still sitting there, and he's still propositioning cocaine.
Wow.
And
wow.
And at that point, we'd found out that he's where we're staying tonight, and he owns the place we were in. So we were like, we're not going to do anything but politely decline.
Yeah.
And then the night is over. We get back to this dude's house, and all the other bands that played that night are shit-faced drunk.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
And there is a salt shaker full of cocaine on the snack table. Like,
this is like that scene from Horrible Bosses.
Oh my God.
and they're just like fucking banging rails off the table.
Oh, man.
And like, we got to be up by like 7:30 the next day.
Right.
To hit the road to get to our next destination.
Sounds like a lot of sunrises and a salt shaker right there.
And none of us partook, but this one band from Florida fucking hit that salt shaker like a redheaded stepchild.
Oh, God.
And they were up all night. It was wild. So that was like, I don't know, I guess some of the craziest stuff that I've experienced on the road is probably like impromptu cocaine parties that were uninvited.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
You know?
Yeah, well.
Like, to each their own. Like, just be safe and don't push it on people. But
yeah.
that dude, he was such a creep.
Nikki.
He's such a creep.
Nikki, make sure you put away the cocaine gift basket.
Yes, I was going to say.
No, not this one.
No 8 balls for me. Thanks, Nikki.
Okay, fine.
No, that's crazy though. Like, you don't think about those things, but you know, you have to kind of expect that in the upper level of the music industry.
Because they all assume, oh yeah, they're just gonna party like rock stars.
Yeah, that's just commonplace, I guess.
Yeah, we're just a bunch of nerds.
Yeah.
On tour. We just happen to be, like, honestly, our band at the time, like, our go-to decompress after the gig was like D&D in a hotel room.
That is my kind of band.
Like, we were not big partiers.
No, and good on you for not partaking, like in your guys.
I don't
succumbing to the peer pressure.
Right.
I don't judge anybody
Yeah.
who chooses to partake, but whatever you do, just do it safely.
There's better ways to lose weight.
Yeah. And there's cheaper ways to lose weight too.
There is cheaper.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
real.
it's like anything else. You know, like religion, dick pics, all that. Like, just if
That
you
was
want to do
just-
that, that's your thing. But don't shove it down my throat.
Yeah,
You know.
I don't know. Just me and Kev, we were just like, that day we were just like, that's the most cocaine either of us had.
Jeez.
Like, both of us had been on the road for a really long time playing. Like, he was playing in punk bands in New Jersey for a while. I was playing in punk bands in New York for a while. Before I moved to Boston, we'd seen a lot of stuff, but that was the most cocaine that I've ever seen in my entire life.
That's crazy.
And like more than the doctor's recommended amount
yeah.
was happening that night.
I
Enough to keep you up for 4 days was happening.
So I said
that
it's
night.
that's a lot of sunrises in a salt shaker.
Yeah.
I kind of want to just the chaos person in me just wants to, on our next guest, have like a little mirror. Well, it'll just be flour, but we'll put in like nice little lines. Like, we got a gift.
Oh,
Look at what we have.
We have for you. That's right, folks. We've gone down that road.
yeah. Hold on. I'm checking who do we have next? Oh no, we're not doing it to the next. No, we are not. No,
Yeah,
Christopher.
no, that's how it's not.
No.
Drugs are bad, kids.
Drugs are bad.
drugs.
Okay.
Okay, kids. Wow. So, okay.
It's not a really crazy story. It's just the most interesting story I have.
That is pretty interesting.
It is
Yeah.
pretty interesting. Like, we haven't had a story like that yet. So,
Yeah.
So anyways, moving on from that one.
Let's get our appetites back here.
Yeah, I know. Right, seriously. Okay, so it sounds like you've played a lot of different venues. You've gone to a lot of different places. Do you have a favorite venue or a venue that you haven't played that you would like to play?
Like a dream menu.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the coolest venue that I've played to date is Johnny Brenda's in Philadelphia.
Ooh, I love Philadelphia.
Yeah, Philly's a cool town. Johnny Brenda's is this cool little, like, think it's probably like 250, 300 cap
Okay.
room, maybe less. 2-level in Philly, and it's got this cool little, I don't know, it just feels cool. It's just a
Nice.
neat room.
The small venues are really neat because it allows you to really connect with the audience, and
Yeah.
and that's, I think that's more special than playing the bigger, sellout places.
Well, it's like I've played some of the bigger places too, and sometimes they just feel really sterile.
Yeah.
Like I've played a lot of the city wineries,
Right.
and while they have a terrifically caring staff,
Sure. Yeah.
and they have a really good setup, honestly. Nothing bad about them at all. It's just a little more corporate than something like Johnny Brenda's or
Right.
Milk Boy or like Sleepwalk in New York or something like that. Just like these smaller clubs that are.
I've been to Milk Boy.
Milk
Now that-
Boy's cool.
Yeah, and God, it was probably a few years ago now, but like you just said that name, and I was like, oh my God, that sounds familiar. I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Milk Boy's pretty cool.
Yeah.
New York has a couple really cool venues too that are on the smaller side, and they they just care about art, and I would rather play the place that cares about art
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
the super corporate place.
Absolutely.
And we'll be right back after these brief messages.
In 2025, be on the lookout for Derek D. Acoustics' upcoming album, Ashes to Acoustics, The Sonic Revival. Throughout the year, Derek will be releasing several singles leading up to the full album release, which will include a few extra tunes just for you. Ashes to Acoustics features live acoustic covers performed at open mics at the Otter River Pub, recorded by Soundbites events and open mics. You'll find them on all streaming platforms, so make sure you follow Derek at Derek D. Acoustic to stay updated on these releases. Enjoy Ashes to Acoustics, the Sonic Revival in 2025 and beyond.
And now back to our show.
So, do you have any advice that you would give to any aspiring musician just
God.
starting out?
I don't have any advice.
Okay.
I'm no good. I'm trying. I'm starving. I'm trying to make it myself. You know, like.
Okay.
Geez, yeah.
But I mean, if you have somebody out there that is really looking to,
Well, take me for example.
Yeah.
I finally just got my first guitar,
Oh, cool.
like maybe a month ago.
Congratulations. What kind?
It is a Donner.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I don't know what the hell I'm doing,
Okay.
but I want to.
What
Do you have any advice for me,
What do you like to listen to?
Zach Bryan?
He doesn't know how to play guitar, so that's a really good start.
All right, perfect. I know he's all about the bar chords.
Yeah, he's a terrible guitarist.
yeah,
You can do his songs.
Well, that's Heading South as one. That's the first song I want to learn how to play.
Heading South might be a little hard, actually.
Really?
Yeah, that's a tricky strumming pattern.
Okay.
I would recommend doing something like what was that one song that he had that came out? The one in G.
Something in the Orange.
Something in the Orange. Yeah,
Yeah.
try that one.
Okay.
That's a way better song to start on.
Okay.
Because those are all meatball chords.
Okay.
So like you got your E minor going to the G, and like I said, he just learned how to play guitar, so he's not throwing anything complicated in there. So that song is 4 chords.
Okay.
You'll nail it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, thank you. Thank you for the confidence boost.
yeah,
Yeah. I
Well,
have no
it's
idea
just-
what the hell I'm doing.
It's just about. I think sometimes hearing that what you're trying to do is accessible
Yeah.
is half of
Half the battle.
teaching process
Yeah.
for music.
Yeah.
And learning about what is accessible to you where you're at.
Sure.
Like right now, Zach Bryan is really accessible to you as a beginner guitarist because he's a beginner guitarist.
Right.
oh yeah,
So you can see that, and you can identify with that in an even stronger way
Sure.
with his music because he's not playing it that much better than you're playing it right now. Like,
Right. And also, it's such a confidence boost. Like you said, learn this song. It's super easy.
Yeah.
Once you learn, hey, you just played a song, that's going to be such a confidence boost to be
Yeah.
like, okay, carry on, continue on with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge step. And I think finding that first artist that you want to emulate and adapt to, I think that is, Zach Bryan he's a perfect one to start with.
Awesome.
His stuff is real accessible.
His songs are like my go-to for singing. So.
Yep. Vocally, they're extremely accessible too because he's a baritone who's got.
I'm a mezzo, anyways. So like Amy Winehouse, like that's more my wheelhouse. So that always.
Oh fuck! So you got a little filth in there.
Yeah.
So you can aim a little higher than Zach Bryan, please. Let's aim a little higher than Zach Bryan.
All right.
Like you want to like Valerie is.
Valerie
is 4 chords.
You Know I'm No Good is probably my favorite.
You Know I'm No Good has a couple tricky chords in there.
Yeah. Valerie is a good starting point.
Valerie is really great. Valerie, if you capo 5, capo 5, G to A minor.
All right.
You got it.
Okay.
Nice.
I'll report back.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'll report back.
I'm still stuck on meatball chords. I want a meatball sandwich now. I'm just.
Chris is actually a really beautiful piano player.
Oh,
no way.
Yeah, he tickles the old ivories from time to time, and we've been working on Coldplay's Clocks. So I sing along and while he plays, and
that was.
We haven't done that in a while.
I know. I was practicing before he came in. That was my gateway song. I've been playing for 15 years, but I usually just noodle and make up my own things.
You really are hungry. Meatballs and noodles?
I know. I want pasta. So I have a carb deficiency. But yeah, so I said, you know what? I'm going to learn how to play an actual song. So I picked Coldplay. Chris Martin is brilliant because he creates these fairly simple songs that they're easy to get into. But beautiful melodies and lyrics, and so I started off with Clocks. Now I'm like diving into like Metallica 1, and I'm doing Great Gig in the Sky by Pink Floyd, and
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I can play that one for you later. And so it's cool. And then I'm discovering is that as I'm learning these other songs and the more complex chord melodies, that then I can go back to doodling on my own, and now I'm like creating new things and discovering new things.
Isn't inspiration lovely?
Yeah, it really is.
It's so cool when, so what excites me about you learning Valerie over any of those fucking Zach Bryan songs is the development of a specific harmonic phrasing that you'll never get in any Zach Bryan songs because he is a novice on the guitar harmonically. He's just not thinking of using voicings like Valerie. So Valerie is G to A minor for the A section, and then for the B section it's C to B minor. Right? So when you're thinking about that and you're breaking that song down theoretically, it's not just those meatball pop chords where you're going from 1 to 4, 5, and 6.
Right.
You're actually using your 2 chord. You're actually utilizing your 3 chord. You're actually creating new harmonic tension by allowing yourself to experiment with these chords that you're picking up by playing somebody else's music. And that's the whole point of using other people's music to develop you as an artist.
And I think it also helps the fact that I already know the song. I already know vocally I can handle the song.
Yeah.
So now it's the half the battle's already done.
Yeah.
Now learn how to play the damn song and put it together.
Well, now your challenge is that B minor bar chord.
Okay.
That's going to kick your ass. But you got it.
Challenge accepted.
No, you got it.
Yeah.
You got it. You're going to knock it out of the park because you know the rest of the song is second nature. So it's only natural for you to kind of understand that part before you understand that part.
Sure.
It's like the same way. So I think whenever I write a melody, whenever you write a melody, you're writing a melody within context. You're hearing a melody like I'm not going to sing a melody right now, but like, for that song that I just played to have the impact that I wanted, Mom was waiting with the kitchen lights on. That's already got a chord progression.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That melody, because of the context that I just sang it in, already has a chord progression.
Right.
So using that knowledge, like, you already know it. You already know the B minor chord because you know where it goes and how it's used.
Right. And I'm going to know when to drop that in.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's just going to be click. It's just going to be like somebody turns a light bulb on in your head and you're just going to be like, oh, this makes sense now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now it's just a matter of figuring out the chords and getting it all put together. And
it's about getting your body to cooperate with you.
Right.
Yep. And that's a struggle with me. Struggle. Actually, no, but in all seriousness, it is. It's like I've actually started incorporating lyrics and singing to the melodies that I'm creating. And it's really cool process because as you could easily just match with what you're playing.
Yeah.
But then it gets to a whole nother level when you complement it and you go either higher or lower octave that just complements the melody that you're playing, and it adds like a whole nother layer and dimension to the song. So it's a really cool process to go through that and to kind of grow and realize and notice those things. So
yeah, I just think it's really cool what you said, where you're just like, playing that chord in that song made me want to write that chord into another song.
Sure.
I think that's the coolest thing
inspiring
that we've said so far in this entire podcast. Like, it's just like,
yeah,
that is a trackable way that a student mind works, where it's just like, I picked up this thing, now I'm going to use this thing to create with. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the coolest thing about songwriting. It's just borrowing the right shit at the right time and putting it in the right spot, and everything has already been written.
Oh yeah.
Nobody's doing anything completely new these days. It's fine. And that's okay. It can still be exciting. Like, I'm still excited by what I write, and it's only original because I'm doing it.
Right.
Nothing like the chords in that chorus, A minor, D, G, C. I think those are the chords to Take On Me.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's been written, and that's been famous.
Yeah, right.
I'm just borrowing it.
Sure.
Yeah. But you're putting your own spin on it, and that's what makes it, unique to you. And, you touch on a good point. Like, there was this one band that focused strictly on that. They like, hey, have you ever noticed that these three chords make up about 90% of all the songs? Yeah. And they just started going right into it, and it was hilarious.
That's how you get all your mashups and stuff that you can do. And yeah.
Ed Sheeran has made a career off of the same four chords in different order.
I love him too.
Yeah, it's just he just, again, meatballs.
Yeah.
All day.
And I don't usually swear, but I fucking love meatballs. Sorry.
Do you have another song that you could play for us?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
If it's a song about meatballs, I swear to God I'm gonna lose it.
No, this is that song that I was talking about earlier, where I just wrote it about leaving home.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And then somebody was like, "It's way deeper than that." And I was like,
left to a lot of interpretation.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with your milk.
Okay.
Yeah, this song's called Your Town. I wrote it with my friend Jesse Da Silva in a hotel room in West Virginia when we were on tour. And I think we were both really excited to be back out on the road doing what we love to do. And yeah, it's a fun little song. Got pulled over east of your town, headed west on 81. The sky looks bigger the further south you go. Just look up. cutting through the hollers. You can tell I'm not from here. Like walls they rose, blessed with Appalachian prose, to just look up. Just look up. Come tomorrow, we'll be back out on the road again. Coming up on the shoulder, there's a sunset unlike anything that you will ever see again. The nighttime falls just like a blanket to build a fortress in the hills. Huddled close and telling stories after bedtime. Headlights glow like miners' lanterns, cutting pathways through the black. The lights grew dim, and I'd weather on the whim to just look up. Just look up. Come tomorrow, we'll be back out on the road again. Coming up on the shoulder, there's a sunrise unlike anything you will ever see again. You will ever see again. Just look up. Come tomorrow, we'll be back out on the road again. Coming up on the shoulder, there's a sunrise unlike anything you will ever see. Just look up. Come tomorrow, we'll be back out on the road again. Coming up on the shoulder, there's a sunrise unlike anything you will ever see again. Woo! Oh, thanks, guys.
Nice.
I like that a lot.
I do too. That was
Glad.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you bopping your head.
I know. I was into it, man.
It's okay. I
Yeah.
like that song. a
Yeah.
lot,
I was
too.
deep in focus, making sure you're sounding good.
No, I appreciate you. No, it's a fun song. Jessie can write a mean hook. She's a really good songwriter and a good friend. So I'm lucky to have that collaboration, or
Well-
else I wouldn't have such a good song.
I bet you look up to her. Looking up.
Just
see what
look
she-
up. Hey,
Hey.
I do look up to her.
No, that's a great hook. Yeah, the lyric. I mean, you know, you could have a good song, you could have a good melody, but if the lyrics aren't there, man, it feels incomplete. You know?
For sure.
You know?
And that shocks me because the top 40 exists.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Wow. So, right. Let's go with another question. So, can you go ahead and share a moment where you felt like you made a significant impact on someone's life through your music?
I don't know. I know some people like my music.
Yeah,
and that I think the mental health aspect of some of my lyrics have made people feel comfortable confiding in me.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I feel very fortunate that those lyrics and the music has led people to want to open up.
Nice.
And I think that that is a really special thing that I'm both really grateful for and taken by surprise by every time it happens. It's nothing I take for granted. If this music means anything to you and you let me know, that means the world.
That's awesome.
That's why I do this, to make a difference. It's, I write music that I like the sound of, hoping that other people like the sound of it too. And I write lyrics that I identify with, hoping that somebody else will identify with that too. And
Sure.
And when that lines up and those things work out, I think it's just magical.
I mean, think about it too. It's like this is your creative outlet. So yeah, you should be doing it for you. And so what if it doesn't appeal to the masses? It's going to, you're going to reach the people that it matters most.
Hopefully, yeah. You got to find your ears.
Yeah.
But it definitely, you're not the first to say that. That when you do make that connection with someone's like, wow, that song really touched me. That song really spoke to me. I could really relate to that. It's such a special moment to have.
Yeah.
Just it kind of makes it all worth all the other work, all the unpleasantness of creating music, and
it is an unpleasant industry.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It is a very unpleasant industry, and when you can find some joy in it, that's something to hold on to.
Yeah, definitely. And it's great too that you're touching upon those sensitive subjects of mental illness. Especially nowadays, there's so much
It was so
turmoil,
stigmatized and taboo for so long that it's people are starting to feel comfortable speaking
talking about it.
Speaking of their experiences and what they're going through, and it's like I feel like the more people that notice and realize I'm not alone, the easier it's becoming for people to speak of it.
Yeah. And I think music and art and therapy can open doors to that.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely.
For sure.
Again, that's just like there's power in community.
Yes.
There's a lot of power in community.
Yeah. And that's why it's so important to, keep fostering a art and music community in our children and in our educational system. It's such an important integral part of mental health, of healthy, mental health.
Because it's like you said, it's in our music programs in schools and stuff. It's like, you have your art class and all that, but like, not everyone's an artist. Everyone can draw, So having those multiple forms of expression and, having that available, providing, to be able to provide that is huge.
Yeah. Yep. And that's why you always find us encouraging.
We support the arts.
That's right. Absolutely.
That's good. We need people to support the arts.
Yeah.
Because there's a country that isn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And to touch upon what you said earlier too is that New England is just chock full of such awesome musicians in this area. We are and what I've come to realize early on is especially in our area, we have so many awesome musicians, but they're so supportive of each other. There is such an awesome family network of musicians that are just supporting one another, and I think that's huge. Mm-hmm.
I think it's crucial.
Right.
I think it's crucial. Artists breaking other artists that has always been the way into the industry.
Yep.
That has always been the way into the industry. It's never like, I think the last time people outside of artists breaking artists was like the 1920s.
Oh yeah.
When you had like the record producers who were like going out to bars to listen to people where they're like, Billie Holiday, you had some pipes.
Yeah.
We'd love to do all this stuff for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's great. That doesn't happen anymore.
Nope.
Now it's an artist letting another artist open for them at the right time, at the right show.
Yeah.
And maybe that kicks off a career, or having somebody take a slot on a tour that maybe they wouldn't have gotten without that. And I think that's how artists are exposed to people who are going out to shows.
Yeah.
That's how artists are exposed to people who are actually listening to music for, deeper reasons than just to take up space while they're driving their car. Like, these are people that listen to music like you and Nikki listen to music for shelter and comfort and joy. Right. And like, it goes much deeper than just like filling a void of space and sound. And, it's tough to find those ears, and the way that you find those ears are through other artists who are doing it successfully, who have broken through.
Yeah, definitely.
And I haven't broken through yet, but I work with a lot of artists who do, and I'm really grateful for that.
Yeah.
It's a gift, them having any confidence in you enough to say, to basically, put their brand on it.
Right.
Like,
sure,
this person is good enough to open for me. I promise you. That's an incredibly compromising, vulnerable thing to do with a trusted fan base.
Oh yeah.
Because God forbid you let them down, then that person had a shitty opener.
And
sucks.
I've seen it happen both ways. I saw one band who was very well known. I won't go into specifics, but they opened up for an even bigger band, and something fell through. They didn't show up, and like the absolute worst. And we're like, well, I guess that's the end of them. I don't think they ever really truly recovered off after that. But and then there was this other band. Nikki's gonna yell at me. It was at a Metallica concert.
He always finds a way to weasel in Metallica. To every
Yeah. And
we get it. You saw them twice now, Chris.
Yeah, I saw them twice now. And there was this new band attached onto their Summer Sanitarium tour, and
we've heard this one already too.
Yeah, it was System of a Down. Like, who are these guys? Boy, But yeah, it's I've seen it, and even locally, I've seen a lot of more successful musicians now supporting other musicians that are just starting out, and attaching them onto their show and exposing them to the crowds, and it's really cool.
But like you said,
crucial.
It's a risk, though. It's
a huge risk.
Yeah, I'm vouching for this person. Like, I want to provide the best experience possible for you. And a part of that is I'm vouching for this person that's also going to add to the experience.
You guys all spent $20 to $40 to be here, and you took your time. You could be at home right now.
Sure.
You could be watching Netflix right now. You could be cooking for yourself right now. You probably spent money out to eat in addition to
made a night out of
tickets.
this.
You've made an entire
investment
in this evening, so it has to be good.
Sure.
And when I totally get why there's some gatekeeping. Like we all have to protect ourselves and our fans from sounds that we think might not go over well, and that doesn't feel good.
Right.
Because either you have to tell somebody that they're not meant for that bill, or you have to make a decision for somebody.
Sure.
Which neither of those things feel good. It's just an ugly position to be in. And also, on the other hand, it could be a really beautiful position to be in, because you could completely open up a door for somebody. And,
like saying, I believe in you.
Yeah, and it's the best thing that you can do for a musician.
Right.
Like I've been turned down on shows before, and, you're just not the right fit. And there's nothing personal in that.
Right.
But
we're just going for a different vibe. We're going for a different sound. We're going for
But when somebody's excited about having you open their show,
I love to have you open up for me and experience my world.
I just opened up for Hodera.
Okay.
In Boston. That was sick.
Nice.
He's kind of this, like, I would say, like, post-rock emo Americana.
So that's your wheelhouse 100%.
Right in my wheelhouse.
Right.
Yeah. And I messaged him on Instagram. He was really receptive, and the booking company that we booked through was stoked to have us as well. It was just all positive things, and we played a good show, and it was at the right time in the right place, exposed to the right people, and that's, you need like 1,000 of those, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need a lot of those to actually like tally up to one sold out show that you booked.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there's a tremendous amount of work that goes into it, and a tremendous amount of faith that comes from the artists that are getting you there.
Yeah.
And it is the artists that are getting you there, because administration is not meant to get you there.
Right.
You're not
Right.
meant to succeed. You're not meant
Right.
to get those shows. Somebody bigger is meant to get those shows. And then that's
Right.
when we get into who deserves what, and that's all bullshit anyways.
Right.
But I love that you have that experience too, and that other musicians also get that kind of experience as well, because I feel like once they level up and achieve the hierarchy of the music industry, they're then in turn going to do the same for other musicians.
That's the hope. That's the hope. I really try not to be a gatekeeper about, like, again, I come here with a tremendous amount of privilege. I've played a lot of really fun shows for a lot of good people and in a lot of really special places, and I want to open that door to other musicians when I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just demands a lot of patience.
Yeah.
It does.
Definitely.
Well, we've been talking for so long. Like, I absolutely adore the conversations that we've been having.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
You guys are good.
Oh, thank you. But so I want to make sure I get another song.
Yeah. You got time
Yeah.
for one more song?
Yeah.
Another song for us?
Yeah, I can do one more.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Oh, geez.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Trying to think of, it's going to be one off the album.
Sounds great. What album?
Northeastern,
Oh, yeah. I love that.
the one that just dropped.
Just dropped,
Awesome.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God.
That's where I pulled the picture from, behind you.
Yeah, it is. This is a title track off of Northeastern. It's called Northeastern.
Nice.
I've been talking to God, and I can't say when we're gonna figure out hard how the bad times end. Me and the devil, well, he's on the level. Something else entirely. Well, it kind of feels like healing in the afterglow of hope. Left me wondering what peace was like, and the fear I'll never know. And I pray, oh, yeah, I pray, oh, yeah, and I pray. So we sink into the gray gaze, where the sun goes down at 4. It comes up again each morning, just as natural as before. I still talk to the walls, trying to figure out now if I can manage to live with myself somehow. Me and the doctor squeeze wine from the rocks till there's nothing left inside of me. Well, it kind of feels like cleaning, making room for something whole. But the emptiness echoes through the halls, and it's clear that I'm alone. And I try, oh, and I try, oh, and I try. He rises from the pavement. You feel the summers in New York. It looks like rain to get me sick. before. Woo! Thanks.
Very nice. Very nice. And you got me all choked up over here.
I'm proud of you for holding in that cough.
Yeah, you did good.
Yeah.
You done good, kid.
I felt it. This one, it's weird. I've been coughing a lot in the studio, and it's probably...
It's dry in here.
It's dry, yeah. Well, so now I understand why one would call himself Old Tom, because his music sounds way older than him. Like it's
got an old soul.
Old soul, and I love it.
Thanks.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I appreciate you, brother, coming down here and performing for us. We had some awesome conversations.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, and I'm just really rooting for you. I hope that you achieve all your ambitions.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Chris.
Yeah, you got it. And if you'd like to go ahead and just let the audience know where they can find you out there in the digital world.
You can find me on Instagram at Old Tom Music. That's old like the age, Tom like the name, music like the art. Or you can find me online at our website at oldtommusic.com. That's the same as the Instagram handle there. So if you find me there, you can find all the shit you need.
Nice.
And we'll post about all our shows and all the goings on in Old Tom and the Lookouts. And me, Jesse, Chris, Adam, and Kev will be sure to bring you some music as soon as possible.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'll make sure that we link everything up for you.
On the show notes.
Yeah, on the show notes.
Yeah.
So that's great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming down and doing this. And
my pleasure.
Yeah. And it's funny because we have a old buddy of ours, Jake, Jukebox Jake.
Jukebox Jake.
He was like, hey, you need to get this guy on the show. He's like, Old Tom, and I'm like, he's on there. He's coming on tomorrow. He's like, get out.
Jake is one of my biggest supporters. I love that boy.
Yeah, he's such an awesome dude.
He's a wonderful man.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. And guys, thank you for tuning in on this awesome episode. We are really appreciative of you guys checking in, hopefully weekly.
Yep.
And
make sure you're subscribed to all the things, our YouTube channel, wherever you stream your podcasts, so you see when our episodes drop. Also, make sure that you're following our Facebook and liking that. And, leave us a review. It means a lot.
Yeah, I know we're like only 100 or so followers on the Facebook page from hitting 1,000 followers, which is insane. Because I remember back in May, we had 14.
We did.
So it's come a long way. And again, by supporting us, you're not just supporting us, but more importantly, you're supporting the musicians, the local musicians of this area, which is huge.
Yes.
And
it's necessary.
It's very necessary.
We need the support.
Yes, definitely. And we're happy to give it. And, we're very honored, to have so many talented musicians, including yourself, perform for us here. And, we hope that by letting the audience get to know you, they will feel invested.
Well, yes. That's cool. Thanks.
All right, guys.
Folks.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
thanks, Nikki. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, you got it. And that's been another episode of The Musical Chairs. Bye.
Bye.
You.